Hello, everyone. Welcome to Podcast Charge, episode 25. I'm your host, Hector here. And for those of you who don't know, the Podcast Charge is Charter Bulletin's #1 newspaper podcast. Charter Bulletin is the University of New Haven school newspaper. So join in because in this episode, Podcast Charge, and every episode, Podcast Charge, we talk about the University of New Haven school news of the week, and we go into a random topic of discussion. Now, it being 25 episodes is pretty insane. So that's actually going to be our topic for today. It's going to be the progression of Podcast Charge and where will it be going forward. We have a lot to talk about on that, so let's get straight into the news portion of this episode. So the first thing we have for you guys today is UNH Pride's Cabaret 2 Electric Boogaloo. This is the story that went on campus. So in Bucknell Theater on the University of New Haven campus on Thursday, March 31st, the students of University of New Haven and faculty and all that kind of stuff, were able to experience Pride Club's Cabaret 2 Electric Boogaloo. And this year's Cabaret stage show was a compilation of different musical numbers from various Broadway musicals, including Hairspray, Rent, Grease. So all of it was just a medley of all these awesome and fun Broadway shows, and their catchy songs to go with it. I'm sure they played like "You Can't Stop the Beat," was it "Take Me or Leave Me" from Rent, and of course Grease Lightning. I'm sure Grease Lightning or something from Grease was in there. It had to be. Grease is just such an iconic show, movie altogether. So with the cabaret, of course, it's a lot of fun to watch these kind of things, just to see all these compilations of different Broadway shows. Maybe myself, I'm a Broadway fan. I'm not super hardcore with it, but I do enjoy it whenever I do get to catch it every now and then. I have seen Hairspray. I saw one with Sean Hayes. I forgot what it was called, but it was a very entertaining show. And I saw Lion King twice. Next on the list is Hamilton, but that is super hard to get into. However, I wonder if they actually play anything from Hamilton. That'll be interesting if they did. So far, I haven't seen anything. There's no mention of Hamilton, but I'll see if anybody's in the cabaret, see if they have, because it's such a good show with great music altogether. You know, I haven't seen it, but listening to the soundtrack, it's top notch. So for those of you that have missed it, though, because it did premiere on March 31st, you can always catch another showing or an encore on May 2nd. So it's going to be in Bucknell Hall Theater on May 2nd for those who just missed out on it and are interested in this cabaret, then might as well check it out. So that's the first one we have for you today. And the second one is the article says "Say What." It's actually by our very own assistant editor, Samantha Higgins. On Thursday, March 31st, students filled Bucknell Theater for a night of laughs for the Kappa Gamma Rho fraternity's semi-annual "Say What" karaoke. The semester was country themed, and the contestants were judged on the performance to a song of their choosing for the first round, and if they made the second round, a randomly chosen country song. Contestants competed for the first place prize of a $100 Amazon gift card, second place $50 Jasmine's gift card, and third place a $25 Target gift card. In the end, the winners were Nick Dion, who was in the first place, Nash Kyrie in second, and Kim Trabelusi and Vanessa Tello in third. So congratulations to the winners for doing that nice karaoke. Karaoke is always a fun thing. I participated in, I didn't actually sing in one, but I did attend a karaoke night for one of the clubs. It was very, very entertaining, to say the least. People have no shame when it comes to karaoke. I think that's the best thing in the world. You really should, right? Alright, so that's what we have for you guys today. Now, a very short list of the news to go over for this week. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more packed next week. We'll see how that goes. But for the random topic of choice is obviously the 25th episode of Podcast Charge. It's pretty insane. So starting with like the inception of Podcast Charge, I may have talked about it briefly in the past episodes, but the one thing I always wanted to do throughout my college career, because I listened to a lot of podcasts when I was starting out in college, and during those times where I was doing homework, I was in the library, and I was mostly just to myself at that time. I would always listen to podcasts to kind of have background noise other than just music. I always have podcasts like that'll focus on video games or movies, and I really fell in love with the idea of just gathering around a group of people, and or gathering around a group of your friends and just talking about something fun. And to take it more in a serious route. When I was a junior, yes, I was a junior, second semester, I decided to go for the Charger Bulletin because why not? So I went up to the editor in chief at the time and asked if there's a podcast that went on. And I'm sure if you guys would follow the Charter Bulletin YouTube page, there was definitely a podcast before, and they got to like up to 40 episodes, I believe, and there's even one before that where it's just one guy doing a lot of the video stuff for Charter Bulletin. So I decided to fill in that place, and she gave me my own reins and decided that this is like my baby. So I did what I will, and here we are with Podcast Charge. As far as coming up with the name, I wanted to include the name podcast in it because I thought it was just a nice nod, just to, at least not nod, just to show what it was. It was a video podcast, right? We're just going to talk about certain stuff. Mostly for this podcast, we talk about the news in New Haven and just the random topic discussions because I thought it adds like a fun twist at the end. So there's a lot of planning that went into Podcast Charge, and a lot of the planning was just at that time forgotten because I was just so focused on actually making the videos and putting them out rather than just other stuff that should have been in the show. Even in this one, there's no special guest. This episode we're supposed to have a special guest, but things didn't iron out the way we wanted to, so we decided just to leave it the way it is. And hopefully that person can come back though for another episode of Podcast Charge very soon before the semester ends. I'm definitely gonna try and get as many guests as I can before this semester is finished and we're off from school and into summer, right? So Podcast Charge has shifted, it has changed a little bit. Thank you to Ben Atwater for helping make the logo. He actually made the logo. I drew it out and I sketched it, but he actually put it together and it was really awesome. So without him, we wouldn't be having the logo up on the Facebook page or anything like that, which you can go follow right now. The facebook.com page is down in the link description below if you want to go and follow Podcast Charge. So it's interesting. Like I love talking about anything really. I love talking about issues. I love really talking about entertainment like movies, TV shows, and video games. But to talk about the school news, get really involved more with what's going on campus, and be more aware of it. This show has helped me because of that. And being part of the paper has also helped me as well. So for any of you that are thinking about starting something new in your club or even in a newspaper, whether it be a podcast or just like maybe another section in the paper, definitely go for it. Just reach out to whoever's your editor-in-chief, reach out to whoever's like the supervisor and see what you can do, because for all you know, it could really make some changes. And that's really what I wanted to imbue in the Charter Bulletin. I didn't want to just come to University of New Haven and then just be a passerby student. Not to say there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just for someone like myself that really want to make some sort of impact, even if it's just a small one, even if it's just with Podcast Charge. Hey, I did something for a group in my school, and I think that's really cool. So if Podcast Charge can live on even after I graduate, which would be an awesome thing, I think that's really, really cool, and it can grow and evolve instead of just being a podcast where I just record from my phone. Maybe it could be recorded like in the studio and all that stuff. I don't think that a Podcast Charge was set up to be mainly like that. I like the fact that it's personal, but for people, if I pass it down, or when I pass it down to people, and if they carry it over, then they could turn to whatever because it shows in their hands. But I always liked the fact that it was just a personal thing, like I just recorded my camera, and I felt like it drew a nice connection to the viewers out there that are watching. I watch a lot of vlogs up on YouTube, so the fact that a lot of people will record like inside their homes or like at the computer desk, like you felt like you're really talking to someone. Like right now I feel like I'm talking to myself across the screen because I'm not really looking at myself, I'm looking at the camera, but it's the same concept, right? Like we're having a discussion, except I'm not gonna finish talking. So Podcast Charge was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I started something like this. I'm glad I had the courage to go up to my editor-in-chief. So it just shows that if you put risk in something and you have an idea and you think it's a good one, you really go with it, then things can go your way sometimes, or things can just turn out for the better. As far as for the future of Podcast Charge, I really hope that it can just live on after I graduate. That's really one of the things I want to accomplish. And hopefully if things all goes according to plan, then they really can. So I'm excited to see after I graduate in a couple months, see if a couple months into the next semester, whether if it is still a thing that's going on. And if it's not, then I try. It's the thing. I try. I just hope for everybody that is watching these videos that you're enjoying them as much as I have making them. It's definitely been a ton of fun. We're not done yet, so we still got like another month left of school, and that's another 4 episodes of Podcast Charge to go through. But I'm going to enjoy every moment I can of it because it's something that I've done, so I'm really proud of. So, thank you guys for watching this episode of Podcast Charge. Again, another very short one, but don't worry, we'll be getting special guests more often as the semester goes off and on. Before it ends, we'll definitely have more guests than we have in the past couple episodes, that's for sure. So again, thank you guys for joining me so much. Again, you can follow us on the Facebook page. It's down in the link description below. If you like what you see here, like that. Click that like button. There you go. Click that like button. Click subscribe to me if you want to see more. And any of my contact information, as far as my Twitter, anything that is all down in the description below. I'll see you guys next week here on Podcast Charge. And have a good week.